To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Buzby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Buzby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Buzby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
The seemingly impenetrable world of celebrity and athletic prowess has once again been shaken to its core. NFL Hall of Famer and the ever-present voice in sports media, Shannon Sharpe, now finds himself at the center of a legal firestorm, facing deeply disturbing allegations that could irrevocably alter his celebrated legacy. A lawsuit filed in Nevada by attorney Tony Buzby, known for his assertive pursuit of high-profile misconduct cases, alleges a pattern of manipulative and abusive behavior, culminating in the sexual assault of a woman Sharpe reportedly encountered at a Los Angeles gym. The staggering $50 million sought in damages underscores the gravity of these accusations, immediately casting a long and ominous shadow over Sharpe's career, his public image, and the very perception of the man behind the insightful commentary and infectious laughter. The lawsuit itself lays out a deeply disturbing sequence of alleged events, commencing with Sharpe's initial interactions with the then 19-year-old Jane Doe at a Los Angeles fitness center. According to the legal filings, Sharpe allegedly exhibited an immediate and intense interest in the young woman, allegedly observing her workouts before initiating contact and persistently demanding her phone number. The lawsuit explicitly notes Jane Doe's initial discomfort, stating that she found Sharpe physically intimidating from their very first encounter. This alleged intimidation reportedly continued as Sharpe allegedly pursued her relentlessly in the ensuing weeks, bombarding her with unsolicited calls and text messages and allegedly refusing to accept her initial disinterest in a personal relationship outside the confines of the gym. Under this alleged pressure and persistence, Jane Doe eventually agreed to meet him. However, this initial agreement allegedly came with a peculiar and unsettling condition. Sharpe allegedly insisted that she sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, prior to their first meeting outside the gym. This unusual request at such an early stage in their acquaintance reportedly raised immediate red flags for Jane Doe, who questioned Sharpe's apparent need for secrecy. Despite his repeated demands, she allegedly refused to sign the NDA, a decision that, according to the lawsuit, did not deter Sharpe from inviting her to his residence. As the relationship allegedly progressed, the lawsuit paints a picture of a significant power imbalance and a gradual erosion of trust. Despite allegedly portraying himself as being exclusively involved with Jane Doe, Sharpe was reportedly discovered in multiple instances of infidelity and deception regarding his interactions with other women. The legal filings claim that by October 2024, Sharpe's alleged behavior took a marked turn for the worse. He allegedly began to insist on recording their sexual encounters, sometimes without Jane Doe's explicit knowledge or consent, and is even accused of sharing these private and intimate videos with third parties, a gross violation of privacy and trust. Disturbingly, the lawsuit further alleges that Sharpe repeatedly made demeaning and controlling statements to Jane Doe, allegedly telling her that he wanted to subject her to acts that would render her undesirable to other men, highlighting an alleged pattern of possessiveness and a desire to exert dominance. The lawsuit further details an incident where Sharpe's alleged infidelity became publicly apparent when he reportedly accidentally or intentionally broadcasted himself engaged in sexual activity with another woman on Instagram Live. When Jane Doe confronted him about these alleged betrayals and his other activities, Sharpe allegedly reacted with fits of anger and intimidation. The lawsuit argues that the initial manipulation and control allegedly escalated into more sinister actions, including Sharpe allegedly gaining unauthorized access to Jane Doe's apartment complex, allegedly demonstrating a complete disregard for her personal boundaries, and making it clear that her desires and objections held no weight. The core of the lawsuit lays bare the horrifying allegations of sexual assault. In October 2024, Shannon Sharpe allegedly violently sexually assaulted and anally raped Jane Doe on 2 separate occasions in Las Vegas, Nevada. The lawsuit explicitly states that during these alleged assaults, Sharpe completely disregarded Jane Doe's repeated and desperate pleas for him to stop. Shockingly, the lawsuit further alleges that this was not an isolated series of incidents, claiming that another sexual assault occurred in January 2025. The language employed in the legal filings to describe these alleged acts is stark and unflinching, conveying a sense of brutal violation and a complete disregard for Jane Doe's physical and emotional autonomy. The level of graphic detail included in the lawsuit is undoubtedly intended to underscore the profound severity of the alleged offenses and to compel the court to recognize the gravity of the claims being made. Adding a chilling dimension to this unfolding legal battle is the parallel existence of a separate lawsuit filed in New York by Michelle Evans. While this lawsuit primarily concerns allegations of defamation and emotional distress stemming from Sharpe's alleged reactions to Evans distancing herself from him due to his relationships with other women, the similarities in the alleged behavior are deeply concerning. Evans also claims that Sharpe exhibited enraged behavior when she attempted to end their involvement. Most notably, the alleged quotation from Shannon Sharpe included in Evans's complaint, "He would make it so no other man would want me," is virtually identical to a statement attributed to Sharpe by Jane Doe in her lawsuit. This almost verbatim repetition across 2 independent accounts of alleged behavior raises alarming questions about a potential pattern of conduct extending beyond a single isolated incident. The fact that 2 women, in separate legal actions, are alleging such strikingly similar controlling and threatening behavior, culminating in claims of sexual violation in one instance, could significantly bolster the credibility of both accusers in the eyes of the legal system and the public. The ramifications of these lawsuits for Shannon Sharpe's career and public standing are potentially devastating. While it is imperative to reiterate that these are currently allegations that will need to be proven in a court of law, the sheer volume and disturbing nature of the claims have already cast a dark cloud over his once untarnished image. Proving allegations of sexual assault often presents significant legal challenges, frequently relying heavily on the subjective accounts of the alleged survivor and any corroborating evidence that may exist, such as witness testimony, electronic communications, or forensic findings. The emergence of a second lawsuit detailing strikingly similar patterns of alleged behavior could potentially strengthen the legal standing of both accusers, suggesting a potential modus operandi. Sharpe's legal team will undoubtedly mount a robust defense, likely focusing on challenging the credibility and consistency of the accuser's testimonies and potentially arguing that any sexual encounters were consensual. The legal proceedings are anticipated to be protracted, complex, and subject to intense media scrutiny, potentially unfolding over many months or even years. Furthermore, the possibility of criminal charges being filed in the relevant jurisdictions remains a significant and potentially life-altering prospect for Sharpe, contingent upon whether Jane Doe chooses to file a formal police report and whether law enforcement agencies deem there to be sufficient evidence to warrant a criminal investigation. the decision of whether to pursue a settlement in these civil lawsuits will be a complex strategic calculation for Sharpe and his legal team, weighing the potential financial exposure and the irreparable damage of a public trial against the message that a settlement might convey to the public and future potential litigants. To truly understand the seismic nature of these allegations, one must appreciate the carefully constructed edifice of Shannon Sharpe's public persona. His journey from humble beginnings in rural Georgia to the pinnacle of professional football is a classic American success story. Overcoming early challenges, Sharpe's exceptional talent and relentless drive transformed him into one of the most dominant tight ends the NFL has ever seen. His record-breaking performances with the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens, punctuated by 3 Super Bowl victories and enshrinement in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011, cemented his status as a gridiron legend. This on-field success seamlessly transitioned into a thriving media career where Sharpe's articulate analysis and engaging personality made him a sought-after voice. His 7-year tenure as co-host of Skip and Shannon Undisputed showcased his sharp wit and unwavering opinions, solidifying his place in the sports media landscape. Currently, his podcasts, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap, provide a platform for candid conversations with influential figures, ironically placing him in a position to discuss and analyze controversies, a role that now sees him under intense scrutiny. The very platforms he used to dissect the actions of others are now echoing with the weight of these serious accusations against him. The legal strategist behind this unfolding drama, Tony Buzby, brings a formidable reputation to the case.
The lawsuit accuses Tony Buzby and his firm of shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums from him or else publicly file wildly false, horrific allegations against him. Now, on Instagram, Buzby denied the claims against him, saying that his firm won't allow the powerful and their high-dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence sexual assault survivors.
His career has been marked by a willingness to tackle complex and sensitive cases involving allegations of misconduct against powerful individuals. Buzby's past involvement in high-profile legal battles, particularly his current pursuit of claims against Sean Diddy Combs, demonstrates a tenacity and a strategic approach that often combines aggressive legal maneuvers with a public advocacy for his clients. His decision to file a $50 million lawsuit on behalf of Jane Doe against Sharpe speaks volumes about the seriousness of the alleged offenses and signals a clear intent to pursue this case vigorously through the legal system. Buzby's involvement adds a layer of intrigue and perhaps even a sense of foreboding for Sharpe, given the attorney's track record in similar, highly publicized cases. In a broader societal context, these allegations against a prominent figure like Shannon Sharpe serve as a stark reminder of the persistent issues surrounding power dynamics, consent, and the pervasive nature of sexual misconduct. The case underscores the potential for abuse of power, irrespective of an individual's public persona or perceived charisma, and highlights the courage it takes for individuals to come forward with such serious allegations. The legal proceedings will undoubtedly be closely monitored by a wide audience, including those within the sports and entertainment industries, as well as advocates and survivors involved in the ongoing dialogue surrounding the Me Too movement and the pursuit of accountability for sexual misconduct. The outcome of these legal battles could have far-reaching consequences for Sharpe's future in broadcasting and podcasting, as sponsors, media networks, and the public grapple with the ethical and reputational implications of associating with someone facing such grave accusations. Ultimately, the legal system will be tasked with determining the veracity of these claims, but the court of public opinion has already begun its deliberations, demonstrating the profound and immediate impact that such allegations can have on an individual's life, career, and legacy. The unfolding narrative serves as a sobering and significant case study in the complexities and potential consequences that can lie concealed beneath the veneer of fame, success, and public admiration.